There exists within each of us a sanctuary that no external chaos can penetrate, a place of profound stillness that remains untouched even as the world around us erupts into turmoil. This inner refuge is not something we must create or construct through effort, but rather something we must remember and return to, again and again, until the path becomes so familiar that even in our darkest moments, our feet know the way home. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, give me a like, comment below about your thought and hit subscribe so you don't miss any video inspired by Yogananda's teaching. Thank you very much. When crisis descends upon our lives, it arrives with a particular violence that seems designed to shatter our composure. The ground beneath us trembles, the structures we have built begin to crack, and suddenly we find ourselves standing in the wreckage of what we thought was solid and permanent. In these moments, the mind races forward into catastrophic futures or backward into regretful pasts, anywhere but the present moment where we actually stand. Yet it is precisely in this present moment, this eternal now, that our true power resides. The spiritual understanding of crisis begins with recognizing that what we call a crisis is often not the event itself, but our relationship to the event. The universe moves in its mysterious patterns, circumstances shift and change like weather systems across the sky, and we find ourselves caught in storms we did not predict and cannot control. But beneath the storm, there is an ocean depth that remains forever calm, forever still. This depth is our essential nature, the consciousness that witnesses all experiences without being diminished or destroyed by them. To remain calm in crisis is to touch this deeper reality, to remember that we are not merely the small self that feels threatened and afraid, but something far vaster and more resilient. We are the awareness in which all experiences arise and pass away. We are the space in which the drama unfolds, not merely the actors caught up in the plot. This recognition does not come from intellectual understanding alone, though understanding can point the way. It comes from a direct, felt sense of our true nature, cultivated through practice and presence. The breath becomes our first teacher in this journey toward unshakable calm. When crisis strikes, the breath grows shallow and rapid, trapped in the upper chest as if we are preparing to flee or fight. But the breath can also be our anchor, our return path to the present moment. By bringing awareness to the breath, by feeling its movement in the body, by allowing it to deepen and slow, we send a message to our entire being that despite appearances, we are safe enough to be here now. The breath connects us to life itself, to the fundamental rhythm that has sustained us since our first moment and will carry us through to our last. In spiritual traditions across the world, there is recognition that the mind, left to its own devices, becomes a generator of suffering. It spins stories about what might happen, what should have happened, what this crisis means about us and our future. These stories feel absolutely real and compelling, yet they are constructions, interpretations, narratives we tell ourselves about reality rather than reality itself. When we can observe these stories without becoming entangled in them, when we can watch thoughts arise and pass like clouds across the sky of consciousness, we discover a freedom that no external circumstance can take from us. This is not to suggest that we should become passive or indifferent in the face of crisis. There is a profound difference between calm and apathy, between spiritual equanimity and emotional numbness. True calm is alive and responsive, capable of clear seeing and appropriate action. When we are not consumed by panic or paralyzed by fear, we can actually perceive the situation more accurately and respond more effectively. The calm we seek is not an escape from reality but a deeper engagement with it, unfiltered by the distortions of our reactive mind. The practice of presence becomes essential here. Presence means bringing our full attention to this moment, to what is actually happening right now rather than what we fear might happen or what we wish were happening instead. In this moment, right now, we are breathing. In this moment, we are aware. In this moment, we are alive. When we anchor ourselves in this simple truth, the crisis loses some of its power to overwhelm us. We discover that we can handle this moment, and then the next moment, and then the next. We do not need to carry the weight of an imagined future or a regretted past. We need only be here now, fully present to what is. There is also a profound spiritual teaching in the recognition that crisis often serves as a catalyst for transformation. What appears to be breaking us may actually be breaking us open, cracking the shell of our limited identity so that something larger can emerge. Many spiritual traditions speak of the dark night of the soul, those periods of intense difficulty that precede profound awakening. This does not mean we should seek out crisis or romanticize suffering, but it does suggest that we can meet difficulty with a different attitude, seeing it not as punishment or proof of our inadequacy, but as an invitation to deepen, to grow, to discover resources within ourselves we did not know we possessed. The cultivation of trust becomes a spiritual practice in itself. Not blind faith that everything will turn out exactly as we hope, but a deeper trust in the fundamental intelligence of life, in the mysterious unfolding of existence that has brought us to this moment. This trust acknowledges that we do not and cannot control all outcomes, that despite our best efforts, life will sometimes bring us to our knees. Yet even in these moments of surrender, there is a grace available to us, a support that comes not from our own striving but from our willingness to open to something larger than ourselves. Prayer and meditation, in whatever form resonates with our understanding, create pathways to this deeper trust and calm. These practices are not about asking for crisis to be removed or circumstances to change, though such requests are natural and human. Rather, they are about aligning ourselves with a deeper reality, about opening to guidance and grace, about remembering our connection to the sacred dimension of existence. In moments of crisis, when we feel most alone and most afraid, these practices remind us that we are held by something vast and loving, that we are never truly separate from the source of all being. The body, too, must be honored in our quest for calm. We are not merely minds or spirits floating free of physical form. We are embodied beings, and crisis registers in our flesh and bones, in our nervous system and our gut. To remain calm requires that we tend to the body with compassion, that we allow it to release the tension and trauma it holds. Movement, whether gentle stretching or vigorous exercise, helps to metabolize the stress hormones that flood our system during crisis. Touch, whether self-administered or received from others, reminds us that we are physical beings worthy of care and comfort. There is wisdom in recognizing that calm is not a permanent state we achieve once and for all, but a practice we return to again and again. We will lose our center. We will be swept away by fear or anger or grief. This is not failure but part of the human experience. The practice is in noticing when we have been carried away and gently, without self-judgment, returning to our center. Each return strengthens the pathway, makes it easier to find our way back the next time. Over time, we may find that we are swept away less often and return more quickly, but the practice itself never ends. Community and connection play a vital role in maintaining calm during crisis. While there is an inner work that only we can do, we are not meant to walk through difficulty alone. Sharing our experience with others who can hold space for us without trying to fix or change us, who can witness our struggle with compassion and without judgment, helps to lighten the burden we carry. In spiritual terms, we might say that when we gather together in authenticity and vulnerability, we create a field of collective presence that supports each individual. We remind each other of truths we have temporarily forgotten, we reflect back to each other the strength and resilience that crisis can make us doubt. The practice of gratitude, even in the midst of crisis, serves as a powerful anchor to calm. This is not about denying the difficulty or pretending that everything is fine when it clearly is not. Rather, it is about maintaining awareness of what remains intact even as other things fall apart. The ability to find even small things to appreciate, the warmth of sunlight, the kindness of a stranger, the fact that we are still breathing, still here, still capable of experiencing this moment, helps to balance our perspective. It reminds us that crisis, however consuming it may feel, is not the totality of our experience. Ultimately, the spiritual path to remaining calm in crisis leads us to a profound acceptance of impermanence. Everything changes. Everything passes. The crisis that feels eternal in this moment will eventually transform into something else. Our lives are a constant flow of arising and passing away, of beginnings and endings, of loss and renewal. When we resist this fundamental truth, when we cling desperately to what is slipping away or push frantically against what is arriving, we create additional suffering for ourselves. But when we can open to the flow of life, when we can hold our experiences lightly even as we feel them deeply, we discover a calm that is not dependent on circumstances remaining stable or comfortable. This acceptance does not mean resignation or defeat. It means recognizing what is within our power to change and what is not, and bringing our energy and attention to where we can actually make a difference. It means acting from a place of clarity and presence rather than from panic and reactivity. It means trusting that even when we cannot see the way forward, even when the path is shrouded in darkness and uncertainty, we have within us everything we need to take the next step. The journey to unshakable calm is itself a spiritual practice, a path of awakening that uses the raw material of our lives, including our crises and challenges, as the ground for transformation. Each time we choose presence over panic, each time we return to our breath and our center, each time we meet difficulty with courage and openness rather than contraction and fear, we are strengthening our capacity to remain calm regardless of external circumstances. We are discovering that peace is not something we find when conditions are perfect, but something we cultivate within ourselves even when conditions are far from perfect. In the end, the calm we seek in crisis is not an absence of feeling or a suppression of our natural responses to difficulty. It is a spaciousness that can hold all of our experience without being overwhelmed by it. It is a deep knowing that we are more than our circumstances, more than our thoughts and emotions, more than the temporary forms that arise and pass away in the field of our awareness. We are the awareness itself, the consciousness that remains constant through all changes, the eternal witness to the dance of existence. When we touch this truth, even briefly, we find a calm that the world cannot give and cannot take away, a peace that passes understanding, a refuge that is always available, always here, always now.